Welcome back to Master 79. In this lesson we build a band 9 answer for an ielts writing task 1 bar chart step by step. We will read the chart, brainstorm it, plan it, and then write the whole thing together. Here is the task. The chart below shows the world production output from Asia, Europe, and the rest of the world in different years. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. Give yourself 20 minutes for this. This is the chart, redrawn, 5 years, 40 years apart, from 1840 to 2000. 3 regions in each year. One important note before we start. The vertical axis in the original carries no unit, but each year's 3 bars add up to roughly 100, so we are reading these as percentage shares. Every value I quote is an approximate read, and I will hedge all of them. Now, how do we actually read this? 5 snapshots means change over time, so we track direction, not just size. 3 regions sharing one whole means that when one rises, another must fall. Look for the turning points. Asia bottoms out in 1920, and Europe peaks in exactly the same year. That is not a coincidence. Then look for crossovers, and finally note the extremes. Two minutes of brainstorming. On the left, what the data does. Asia is a deep U shape, high, then collapsing, then recovering. Europe is an arch, rising to a peak in 1920 and then declining. The rest of the world climbs hard and then levels off. On the right, what I will actually write. I group by pattern, never by year. Asia and Europe go in one body paragraph because they mirror each other. The rest of the world gets its own. The overview. This is the single highest value paragraph in task 1, and here is the rule candidates break most often. It carries no figures at all. Figures belong in the body paragraphs. Your job in the overview is to say what the shape of the data is, not what the numbers are. Here the shape is 2 reversals, plus 1 region that simply grows. So the plan is 4 paragraphs. Paragraph 1 paraphrases the prompt. Paragraph 2 is the overview, with 0 figures. Paragraph 3 handles Asia and Europe as a mirrored pair. Paragraph 4 handles the rest of the world. 4 paragraphs, 4 separate jobs. Paragraph 1. The bar chart compares the share of total world production output generated by Asia, Europe, and the rest of the world at 40-year intervals from 1840 to 2000. Notice the paraphrase. The chart below shows becomes the bar chart compares. And I have added the interval, 40 years, which the prompt never states. Paragraph 2. The overview. Overall, Asia and Europe exchanged the leading position twice. Asia's contribution fell steadily while Europe's climbed until the middle of the period, after which the pattern reversed completely and Asia finished as the largest producer. The rest of the world, meanwhile, recorded the most consistent long-term growth, ending the period far above its starting share. Read that again and count the figures. There are none. Paragraph 3. The first body paragraph. In 1840, Asia was dominant at roughly half of global output, with Europe some 10 percentage points behind. Asia then declined sharply to about 30% in 1880 and to a low of approximately 20% in 1920, precisely the year Europe peaked at just under 50%. From that point, the 2 regions swapped trajectories. Asia recovered modestly to around 24% in 1960 before surging to roughly 45% by 2000, whereas Europe slipped to about 38% and then to around 27%. Paragraph 4. The rest of the world followed a much simpler path. Beginning at only about 10% in 1840, its share more than doubled within 40 years and reached almost 30% by 1920. It peaked at approximately 38% in 1960, drawing level with Europe before easing back slightly to just over 30% in 2000, still roughly 3 times its 1840 figure. And there is the complete answer on one screen. Pause the video here and read it as a whole. Watch how each paragraph does exactly one job and how the whole thing is organized by pattern rather than by walking through the years one at a time. Here is the language that did the work. For movement upward, climbed, surged, rose sharply, more than doubled. For movement downward, declined, slipped, fell sharply, eased back. For peaks and troughs, peaked at, bottomed out at, reached a low of. And the hedging words that keep you safe when you are reading values off a chart. Roughly, approximately, just under, around, almost. Why this reaches band 9. Task achievement, a clear overview with all key features and hedged figures. Coherence and cohesion, grouped by pattern with one job per paragraph. Lexical resource, precise trend verbs with no repetition. Grammatical range, mixed clause types and accurate comparatives. One honest caveat. Band 9 here reflects an internal quality check against the public ielts descriptors. It is not a score from a certified examiner. Your turn. Rewrite paragraph 2, the overview, in your own words. And remember, not a single figure. Post it in the comments and I will read them. If this helped, subscribe to bmaster79 for the next task 1 walkthrough. See you in the next one.